This is question 16, I think, and it says that x plus 1 is a factor of this cubic, and they want me to find k. I'm going to do that part. I'm going to do it 2 different ways, and I'm not going to do the second part. Once you know the value of k, you should be able to solve a cubic. So think about it. If you have a factor, okay, so 4 into 10 goes twice, remainder 2. 4 into 20 goes 5 times, remainder 0. Okay, when something is a factor, all the long division that we do, no matter what we get down here, it's equal to 0. The remainder is 0. So if we have a factor, we can always do long division. So x plus 1 into 2x cubed plus kx squared minus 10x minus 3k. What do I multiply x by to give me a 2x cubed? That's a 2x squared. So multiply that out and I subtract. 2x cubed minus 2x cubed, gone. A kx squared minus a 2x squared, well, you know, if I knew that was a 6x squared, it'd be 6x squared minus 2x squared, that's an x squared, and that would leave me with 4x squared. But I don't know what that value is, so the best I can do is just say, oh look, it's a kx squared, and if I knew what it was, I'd subtract 2x squared from it. Take down the rest of your question. And go again. This is so repetitive, but you need to take your time with it. X multiplied by what gives me a kx squared. That would give a kx. Multiply that out. And I subtract. Okay, that's gone. I have a minus 2x squared minus a kx minus a 10x. Again, if I knew what they were, you know, if I knew what k was, I'd subtract those, minus 3k. And I go again. What do I multiply x by to give me a minus 2x squared? A minus 2x. So that's minus 2x squared minus 2x. And I subtract. That's a minus kx plus a 2x minus a 10x. Okay, so now that I can actually work with. If I'm down 10x and I get 2x, that means I'm left with minus 8x. So I've minus kx, I have a plus 2x and a minus 10x, gives me a minus 8x, and I have a minus 3k. What do I multiply x by to give me a minus kx? Minus k, so that's minus kx minus k, and I subtract. That gives me plus and a plus gone. That gives me an minus 8x minus a 3k minus, sorry, plus another k gives me minus a 2k. And I go again. What do I multiply x by to give me a minus 8x minus 8? That's minus 8x minus 8. And I subtract. Gives me a plus and a plus. And I end up with minus 2k plus 8. And I go, what do I multiply x by to give me this? Oh no, I can't. There's no x there. So now, going back to this, if I divided a factor into this, the remainder must be 0. So this little bit here is actually a 0. That's 0. Which means, you know, minus 2k is equal to minus 8, 2k is equal to 8, k is equal to 4. And I'm not able to find out what k is equal to using long division. Now, I'm going to do it a different way. If x minus 1 is a factor, then we automatically know that x equals minus 1 is a root. What can I do with a root? I can sub it in. And what will it be equal to? It'll be equal to 0. So I need to work this out. Minus 1 cubed is minus 1. Plus k times minus 1 squared is a plus 1. Minus 10 times minus 1 is plus 10. Minus 3k is equal to 0. That gives me minus 2 plus k plus 10 minus 3k equals 0. Gives me minus 2k plus 8 equals 0. Look, sure, I'm at the exact same point I was over here, except this is much faster. So minus 2k is equal to minus 4, or is minus 8. 2k is equal to 8, k is equal to 4. Much faster to sub it in there than to be doing all that long division. But it's great practice for your long division. Second question I'm going to do is this one here. X plus 2 and x minus 1 are factors of this. Find the values of a and b. Again, I'm going to do it two ways. So if they're factors, now think about it. If you were told that 2 and 5 are factors of 40, what's the third one? What happens in your head? I'm pausing because I want you to think. What happens in your head when you are told 2 and 5 and something are factors of 40? You get your two factors, you multiply them, and then you divide that into your 40. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my two factors, I'm going to multiply them. That gives me x squared plus 2x minus 1x minus 2, which gives me x squared plus 1x minus 2. So that's like, you know, the 2 and the 5. So here's my two factors. I multiplied them. And now I'm going to divide what I got into the cubic. So this is what I got, and I need to divide it into the cubic. That's x squared plus 1x minus 2 into x cubed minus ax squared plus minus bx plus 6. Take your time. What do I multiply x squared by to give me an x cubed? Multiply by an x, so that's x cubed plus 1x squared minus 2x, and I subtract. Gives you a minus, and a plus. That's gone. That gives you a minus ax squared minus 1x squared. Can't do anything with that. Minus a bx plus a 2x plus a 2x plus a 6. And I keep going. What do I multiply x squared by to give me an ax squared minus a? So that gives you minus ax squared minus 1x. Sorry, minus ax, 1ax, and then plus 2a. And I subtract. That gives me a plus, and a minus. That's gone, which is what I wanted. I ended up with minus 1x squared plus a 1ax, or an ax, whatever. Minus a bx, can't do anything with that, minus a 2a, plus a 2x, plus a 6. And I go again. What do I multiply x squared by to give me a minus 1x squared? That's minus 1. So that's minus 1x squared minus 1x plus 2, and I subtract. That changes to plus, minus. That's gone. Now let's have a look here. I have an ax minus a bx minus a 1x plus a 2x. So, okay, so there's something I can do there, which gives me plus a 1x minus a 2a and plus 4. Okay, so maybe I'm stuck. Maybe there is no way to do it this way. I mean, there looks like there's two things missing. Unless I've made a mistake. So I guess what I'm going to do here is just go, right, maybe I have made a mistake. Well, what are my other options? If they're factors, turn them into roots and sub them in. So if x plus 2 is a factor, then x is equal to minus 2. If x minus 1 is a factor, then x is equal to 1. And I'm going to get my cubic. And I'm going to sub in the minus 2. I'm going to clean that up. That gives me minus 8. Minus 8 times 4 plus 2b plus 6 equals 0. So that gives me a minus 4a plus 2b minus 2 equals 0. So that gives me minus 4a plus 2b is equal to 2. And that looks like a junior cert simultaneous equation, but I need another bit of information. Luckily, I have another bit of information. So I sub it in. 1 cubed minus a times 1 squared minus b times 1 plus 6 equals 0. So I end up at 1 minus a minus b plus 6 equals 0. So that's minus a minus b, and that's 7. So goes over and becomes a minus 7. Now I'm going to multiply this line by a 2 so that I can get the b's to cancel out. So if I multiply that by 2, I end up at minus 2a minus 2b is equal to minus 14. And I end up at minus 4a plus 2b is equal to 2. That gives me minus 6a is equal to minus 12. So 6a is equal to 12, so a is equal to 2. If a is equal to 2, then I can look back here. Minus 2 minus b gives me minus 7. So b must be 5. Okay, so not a long division there. I might have made a mistake. That's not unusual for me, but luckily I have other methods. This is a simpler method. I sub in, I end up with a junior cert simultaneous equation, and I solve it for a and b. And if they ask me to do anything further in the question, I can now do it because I now know that this cubic actually looks like x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. And I can do something with that now, whether it's put it into the calculator and use my functions, or plot it if it was a function, or solve it by finding one root, turning it into a factor and doing long division.